Hey guys, Nabil from Auto Repair Champs. This is going to be a quick video, but I just want to show you a couple of things on how to remove the oil filter thermostat in a 2007 BMW 550i. So this is really hard place to get to, but I found a couple of easy ways to remove this without removing the engine mount, as you guys can see. Basically, okay, so before I get to the removal here, I want to talk briefly about the oil leaks that comes from this area here, where you have to remove the power steering pump, which I'm not going to show here. So basically the only thing that I had to remove is the power steering pump with the pulley on it to get to these bolts on the rear. And then I removed one screw that's holding these oil lines, and these oil lines are being held with two I believe two size 6 bolts. As you guys can see, there's two of them right here. Allen size 6. Let me just make sure actually. So this is, okay, I take this back. They're size 5. It's being held by two screws right there. So this thermostat here sits just like that. Okay, one on the top, okay, I'm sorry, it just sits just like that. So one is behind this right here that goes into this hole on the top, and one at the bottom. So it just sits just like that. Okay, let me just make sure I get some light so you guys can see. Just like that, okay? And basically these O-rings here start leaking. So I got an AC that heat resistant AC lines from my kit over there from a toolbox, and basically it starts leaking from those O-rings, okay? I was having a hard time finding those O-rings, but I was able to remove those two screws using size 5 as I did show you, one right there and one at the bottom. And then this bracket that's holding these two lines goes into this little hole, and they're being held by only one screw, and that size screw is 6. It's a 6 Allen. Now I'll show you in a minute how I got to that bracket, but let me go ahead put this in. So I'm going to pause this video. Basically I'm going to just put that in and show you how you put these screws and screw them in. All right, I'm back guys here. So I'm going to show you actually, so I did replace those two O-rings, and I'm going to replace those two O-rings on this as well. I got similar gaskets on the bracket of the oil lines. These are the two lines. Some of these sizes are kind of hard to find, but you can manage to put in something very similar. So I'm going to place these two gaskets on these two lines first. Okay. Let me just place this other one, put some lights for you guys to see. Thought about putting some grease on, but you know, the oil that's coming from the lines should be just enough to put that in. I did put a little bit of grease on these two. All right, so at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in, and it goes that way, just like that. Let me just make sure. Yeah, that's the right way.
There's power in the word no. At University of Phoenix, there's no application fee, and since exam will probably be
I'm gonna just put these lines away from this so I can squeeze it in.
higher education is for anyone, so we're making it accessible for
And as you guys can see, I'm able to put that in
University of Phoenix.
without removing the engine mount. That's the way I took it out. Am I putting it upside down? You know what? I think I am. Sorry about that. I think I'm putting it upside down. Let me try that one more time. It goes one way. You can't put it the other way. There you go. There you go. So, that's in. I'm gonna go ahead and put these two brackets in. Well, at this point, like I said, there's two screws for that thermostat, oil thermostat. Their size, what was it? Size 5. Is that 5? Yeah, so there's size 5, and what I do, I use a small 1/4-inch socket. Put it by hand first. Sorry, I don't mean to bore you out putting the screws in, but this is can be a hard job to show while I'm recording this, and I haven't seen anything online that shows how you remove and you put these gaskets or the oil thermostat in. So that's in. Now on the top one, I'm not gonna tighten this up yet, but I want to show you really quick. On the top one, I use the same socket with a small extension. Okay, and I try to put it in really tight place, guys. I'm gonna try to put this in without the socket first to see if I can get to it. Okay, so it's in, and now I'm gonna use this socket. So I'm gonna pause. I'm not gonna bore you out watching me putting the screw in, and I'll be right back. So I resumed recording because I want to show you. I'm just using my hand to tighten up this screw, which is size 5. This is very common on these Beamers, guys, and there isn't many videos out there that shows where that leak, even a lot of people don't even know where that leak is coming from because it's behind the power steering, and some people have been removing alternators and all kind of stuff and engine mounts, and no, you really don't have to do all of that. I'm just like about 1 hour into this, removing that power steering pump and those two screws, and there you go. I'm gonna pause this video. I'm gonna tighten these two bolts up, and I'll put the other bracket, this bracket in, and then it's just being held by one screw, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, so I'm back. Did tighten those two size 5 up. I'm going to do just a little bit of cleaning here. Some brake cleaner. And I will be putting this bracket with these two lines in. Let me see if I can So the interesting thing with this line is I have to lift it up and push it in at the same time. There you go. All right. It's not all the way in, but it will go in once I put this last size, what did we say it was, size 6. And again, I'm just starting it off with my hand. And I'm just using this really tiny, because it was really hard to get to that spot, just tiny size 6. All right. Now, a lot of you guys are wondering how the heck did I remove this if I didn't have a lot of space? And I will show you the trick that I used. I used an L shape, and I will show you. All right, you guys, what I used is this right here, size 6. As you guys can see, I'm able to move it around freely without removing this mount. Anyways, guys, this is all I wanted to show you. I'm gonna just tighten this up, and I'm gonna do a little bit of cleaning here, and that's it. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate your support, and we'll see you with another one.